Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our very first webinar of 2014. This is Vladas Kravickas. I'm a marketing director with RealtyProx and National Closing Center. And to start our year of another webinar cycle, there's Lee Honish at the other line. Hello, Lee.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new 2014.
Yeah, Happy New Year. So we're excited. Apparently, short sales are not over yet. I'm not sure if you're happy about it or you're sad, but I'm sure Lee's going to talk about it. But they're not over yet. So before I give this to Lee, I'm just going to do my brief presentation, a couple of words about RealtyProx, since we're hosting this event, and National Closing Center. So RealtyProx is a short sale transaction management platform. It's a real estate transaction management platform in general, but mostly we do short sales. It's a free platform. It's completely web-based, so you don't have to download anything or install anything. You can use it from any computer. You can use it on your iPad or any tablet, even your smartphone. It does work even on your smartphone. And again, it's free. So there's a lot of software. There's a lot of all kinds of things to make your lives easier, but free is good, and it's free in enterprise level platform. So it's better than just any kind of platform that's been written by a couple of amateurs on WordPress. It's a real deal. For those of you not that much into technology, probably the biggest benefit of RealtyProx is that it connects you to a National Closing Center. The National Closing Center is our sister company that actually have physical people, processors, experienced processors, people who work in the office every day for past 5 years doing nothing else but processing short sales. And processing is obviously, it's just an umbrella word. It includes everything, a little bit of transaction coordination, a little bit of negotiations, a little bit of cajoling people into doing things they may not want to do. So pretty much they're going to be your point people, your point person, your processor in the short sale transaction. So again, for those of you who are members of RealtyProx, you know how it works. For the new people on this webinar, I highly recommend just go to RealtyProx.com, sign up for your free account, listen to a couple other webinars. One of them is probably going to be with Lee Honish, and then one is going to be with me, and another one is going to be with Esther Wilson. So you're going to get all aspects of what we do, a little bit of marketing training by Lee Honish, a little bit of platform training, and then you can start sending short sales our way. So this is a brief summary of what we do. We process short sales. We give you tools to process your short sales. We also have some raw data. So I'm pretty sure Lee is going to talk about his method of getting short sale listings. So again, I don't say don't get data from anywhere else. I say get data from wherever you can, including RealtyProx. And once you become a member of RealtyProx, you can simply request leads, and we will send you information of people in your area who are delinquent, who we know short sales would be a good exit strategy for them. And believe me or not, we still have quite a few of those. So with that being said, I want to give this up to Lee. And before he starts whatever he has prepared to you, I know since it's January, beginning of the new year, would you mind giving us a little bit of projections? I know you're a real estate market geek and you follow all these things, whatever's going on. So what's 2014 going to look like for short sales, for anything, anything real estate? I mean, what's better time to do predictions and have our hopes up or not, if not now? So why don't you just talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I'm not often asked to talk about that topic because everybody sort of has their own take on the market. Last year, first quarter, I made some predictions about the market that were slightly not popular, but they were accurate. I believe, much like I believed last year, pretty much the same thing that I believe this year. For those of you joining the call, my market prediction looks roughly like this. We have an issue with, I don't want to get real technical, geeky, and ubery. There appears, if I was an investor or I was a real estate agent, right, I would only care about what is the best deal source. I would care about what is the best deal source that has the fewest agents getting in my way. That's just me. Some of you are, somebody brought this up yesterday at one of my live events. There seems to be an indoctrination process where we believe that we have to do things the way we've always done them. And in my humble opinion, doing things the way we've always done them creates average. Those that do exceptional as an investor or real estate agent do it from the perspective of going where they're not, going into an area or a field of where they're not. It's always been short sales. Those are people that are in default, that are late on their payments, that have an auction date or a sale date, or have a less pendants. Those are where the agents aren't, and that's why I'm a fan of short sales. Now at my live events, much like my presentation today, I talk about short sales and I also talk about expireds. They are the two fields for which deals come from. What do I think is going to happen in 2014? Well, I can base it on my experience at the bank, and I base it on what the market trend is. I made roughly the same prediction last year. I think we are again going to drop the value of money ridiculously, somewhere here within the first quarter. If not in the first quarter, then in the second quarter, they will drop the interest rate again to stimulate sales going into the summer. And I don't think it'll happen much before summer. I think they'll hint at it in the first quarter, and somewhere in the second quarter they will actually do it. And then for a very short period during the summer, they will drop the rate, which will stimulate sales and listings and start to free up some of the glut that's on the market. Then they will, like they did last year, bring up QE3 and stop buying back bonds. So in the third quarter buyback, they will slow down once again, halting the interest rate and the bond buybacks, which will bring the rate back up to where it is, slow the market down, and we will see another year exactly as we saw last year. I think the window where the market is red hot and all you have to do is say you want a listing will be the months of May, June, July. Then in August, they'll bring the rate up or threaten to bring the rate up. In September, October, November, the rate will come back up. Sales will freeze. We will have another appreciation rate between 0 and 5% nationally. But by and large, the market is flat. It will continue to be flat. As many of you know, right now, days on market in a bunch of the market is taking a little bit longer. But we are in what can only be characterized as sort of a stale market right now. There are no real new listings coming on the market. With the come on of auction.com in the last quarter of last year, investors have been frozen out of the game for REOs and short sales. That was by design of the banks intentionally to get people out of to get the investors out of the game and to get true fair market value into play, and to freeze out cash offers. So what you're going to look at is aggressively from the banks their attempt to do short sales where they will offer cash to the homeowner on close, where they will pay mitigation fees to servicers, where they will make it as appealing as possible. There's another thing that's going to happen this year that is unique to any other year. In the first year of doing short sales, 2007 to 2008, the first loan modifications were all 5-1 option balloons. Those 5-1 option balloons will start to come due this year, the first batch, and we're talking tens of thousands of files nationally. When those do I think that they're going to modify? I think some will modify. I think it will bring more listings onto the market. I also think that they will have to ease up on some of the foreclosures that they took back. While they eliminated quite a few in the final quarter by modifying people and literally eliminating sales, I think you will see that the shadow inventory will have to be diffused, and they will use auction.com. and Nation started to fuse some of those REO listings, and you'll see those come onto the market as well, which will saturate some of the markets. So again, if you're looking for a dramatic gain within the market, some of the cities had gain. That has changed. Pending sales dropped in 4 straight months. In fact, sales hit an all-time low in Las Vegas in November and December. It happened in a lot of markets. So what you're going to see is a stale and flat market for the first quarter. The attempt to re-stimulate the market will happen at the end of the first quarter. They'll hint at dropping the rate. They'll drop the rate maybe 0.1% or some ghastly small amount, which will stimulate business for the months of May, June, July. August, they'll bring the rate back up and halt it. They'll stop the quantitative easing process again in the third quarter, and then we will have a flat final quarter. So your window of opportunity, if you want to go after any kind of listing, would be May, June, July. The rest of the time you need to go after what I call specialty listings, and we will talk about that here today. So that's sort of my market prediction. I mean, that's basically if they don't do the quantitative easing process again, which is basically a bond buyback, if they don't continue with that process, they drop the rates and try to overstimulate the market. Because remember, the president has replaced the chairman of the Fed with somebody that was very much pro his presidency. I can also see one other thing happening. They dramatically drop the interest rate to stimulate the real estate market. And if they do that, you will see a bubble and a crash. We're still feeling blowback from the government shutdown. We are still, there's a lot of carryover. People don't get that. The real estate market is much like a giant ship. You can't just hit the brakes on a giant ship and expect it to go in a direction. But real estate agents, all of you on this call, and real estate agents in your office and investors, follow these trends impulsively instead of playing for a long game. I think for a long game that there are 2 very safe bets. Short sales again for this year and expired listings. Those are the really safe bets. Following trends on probates and divorce or, farming to a specific area, I just don't see it. I think you go after a specific target based on specific data and take a very tactical approach and very systematic approach will bring you higher gain and higher deals and listings for the coming year. I hope you recorded that because I won't be able to do it again, Vlad.
I'm hoping, I am recording, but I am hoping it's actually recording. I know I am recording. I have no doubts in myself, but I have some doubts when it comes to go to meetings. So
probably one of my best market descriptions for the coming year. Last year I said that they wouldn't do quantitative easing and they would create a bubble, which they did. I didn't think they'd put the brakes on it and it would have created a bubble and would have created a complete crash. Instead, what Bernanke did last year was he put the brakes on in August, which gave you the stale 4 months going into the end of the year. That's going to carry over into the first quarter. I expected a complete crash instead of a stall. I said it would be a stall or a crash because you can't keep buying back bonds. You can't keep dropping interest rates. You'll create a bubble. You cannot artificially stimulate real estate. It's got to be based on demand, supply and demand. It's what we all learned in business school. You guys know this as real estate professionals. Just look at the trend. You can't make money free again. We had that issue in 2007. They did it again last year. So instead of crashing, what they did is they halted it. They froze it. They'll do it again this year. Unless this new chairman is, trying to make the president look good. And the one way to make a president look good is keep doing loan mods, keep offering, money back for people who shouldn't be in their house in the first place, stop foreclosures, and drop the rate of money. Again, here's what will happen. At the end of summer, come August, September, when everybody comes due to figure out who's going to pay for what, it's going to create a bubble. That's what Bernanke's afraid of. You can play a game of dropping the rate and bringing it back up to stimulate back and forth, but ultimately that's only going to get you a 0 to 5% increase in the market overall. And as long as it's a slow going up instead of a drop, which is what we're doing. We're going up slightly by 5% nationally, then we stall. Then we go up, and then we stall. You're talking a longer period to get back to what's called the equilibrium of the market. The equilibrium of the market was set in 2007. We are still, based on the current rate and speed, 3.5 years away from a national figure. that means there are still people underwater. Bottom line, short sales are where they ain't, and real estate agents don't like short sales. To me, it's a no-brainer. Get somebody to do the mitigation. That's why we're on the RealtyProx webinar. Have National Closing Services do the mitigation, and let me show you how to go get those listings. The only thing they think about, and we've started to talk about this, we're kind of focusing off sale dates because that's what you do at the end of the year, because you will get people to talk to you at Christmas time based on that. Now we're at the beginning of the year. Now I would say the strategy is switch to 30, 60, 90-day lates and to switch to list pendants and NODs. And focus on expireds for your listings. Simple as that. We can, if that's your big market update, everybody appears to be on the call. Get out your pens, get out your pans. Let's start to go through this bit by bit. As you see on the screen is all my information. Diana Ortiz is the CEO of my company, and she will be happy to help you as well. You can email me at lee.honish@yahoo.com. My phone number is 213-706-0040 for any information you want. The websites are honish.com. The two we're going to talk about today, defaultadvocate.org and expired.org, are my two advocate websites that are what we call in the business evergreen, so they are generic for my marketing. You can certainly go take a look at those. The listingmonster.com is my my servicing product, my actual my product. We'll talk about that at the very end for just a couple of minutes. And you can join me on Facebook and Twitter at Lee Honish, all one word, L-E-E-H-O-N-I-S-H. I have a whole thing about Facebook because I've got 4,500 people on Facebook, and I don't want to be a page because I understand SEO. Unlike a lot of people, they think it's a great sign when you've officially become a page. I'm not a fan of it. I think you need a personal profile. So I'm kind of selective about people on Facebook. So here's my advice. If you heard me today and you want to join me on Facebook, keep up with me and my daughter and whatever it is that I'm doing, send me a note first and then send me a friend request. That way I can make sure to get you in. Everybody buckled in? Everybody got a pad and a pen? I cannot see your comments on the chat bar. You can certainly contact Vlad through that service, and we will read your questions at the end. I will leave enough time. So for the next 30 minutes, let's talk about how to get you guys listings. For those of you who are brand new, never seen me before, never heard from me before, or you're just sadly spammed to death by me and you want to know who I am, my name is Lee Honish. I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. I have been an asset manager for over 20 years. I started in 1986 doing asset management. I've worked for 3 major lenders. In 2007, I did the first short sale training in the United States. Since then, I've done about 40,000 hours. It says 20. It should be updated. It's about 40,000 hours of live presentations. I've trained over 50,000 real estate agents live. I've officially been viewed over 1 million times. My website, which is my personal website that isn't that old, it's only a very small period of time, is now reaching 500,000 page views. It's one of the deeper websites on marketing and real estate and short sales at honish.com. By all means, feel free to go there. This is what I do for a living. 2007, I did the first training. I did that until about 3 years ago. Then I went off the road. I took about a year off. About 2009, 2010, I took about a year off and started coaching privately. I didn't really want to be a part of conglomerate coaching or systems. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's very personal, and I think the person you should hire should be able to pick up a phone and do a coaching call once a week. With that said, I was tasked with one thing by the people that I coach, and that is, can you get us new listings, specifically short sale listings. Now, the reason I bring that up, the approach that I'm going to show you works for any kind of listing. So I went out to Arizona in August. I remember it well. It was 115-degree weather, and I tested out every single marketing method that you guys are used to. And what I discovered during that process is most of the marketing that is taught to you is very very bad. It is not very successful. I am not a fan of mailers. I am not a fan of calling 100 people in the morning. I am not a fan of knocking on 100 doors. I am a fan of getting specific data, using a permission-based approach, and getting in front of people who want to actually hear my message. I still do marketing on a weekly basis. Diana Ortiz, whom I work with, who is my CEO and fiance, I might add, you can certainly call her and talk to her at 213-706-0040. I go out and I get listings for her on demand because I don't have any issue going out and creating a lead source. My marketing works for anybody. In fact, I often think that I should teach people how to do it as a second income, selling leads to real estate agents, because it's not really that hard to do. Recently, this made its way into one of my events, the 7 Highly Effective Habits of 7 Highly Effective People Working in a 7-Hour Work Week. It's a spoof and a parody book that I am working on. I've just recently started to write chapters for it. The reason I put it up as a slide, my advice for 2014 is get a habit, do it again and again, create enough free time within that day for you to do whatever it is you want to do with your family, then repeat it every single day of the week. That is how you create free time. That is how you are effective, and that is how you move forward. If you do marketing, set aside 1 hour to 2 hours every day, every morning. Then do something you like. Then spend some time with your family. Then do some more marketing while you do something you like. Keep your smartphone available so that you can text or email and stay on top of what it is that you do. That's it. That's the secret to every book you've ever purchased at FedEx Office and Kinko's. I will say this, if you want to be effective at marketing, and I mean legitimately effective at marketing, you need to set a schedule, follow that schedule, do it every day. People ask me, what is my schedule? I get up every morning at 7 a.m. I walk down because I live right at the beach, and that's not me just going, ooh, look, I live at the beach. There's affordable things at the beach too, okay? I go down and I sit and I do my marketing every morning and drink my coffee and enjoy watching, joggers jog and surfing and whatever it is that they do, and I do my marketing. When I'm done with my marketing, I get dressed, I go over to my ex-wife's house, and I watch my daughter get ready for school. I do more marketing there at 8 o'clock. At 8:30, we're off. I then go and play golf for the next few hours. I leave my smartphone available to respond from email and text requests. I then go and eat my lunch. I eat pretty much the same lunch every single day when I'm in San Diego. I then go take a nap, and then I head over to gym. My daughter's in gymnastics. I'm there every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 3:30 to watch her. And they have internet, and I can do more work at that time. And then at 5:30, my daughter goes home. She lives with her mom and her stepfather, and that is generally my day. And that's effective, and I get a lot of marketing done. I don't spend a lot of time debating what's the best open ratios on emails. I don't, sit around and overwork websites before they're released. I go. I try to get as much out there as quick as I can, and every book that I've ever read when it comes to marketing is be effective, do it, and do something. Get it out there. People who spend time testing, retesting, clicking funnels, making sure it does X, Y, and Z, and it's got a fault, that's a waste of your time and of your energy. Go out, do something, even if it's wrong. Even my own coaching students, I had one yesterday. He's like, okay, I've got this set up now. I'm just about ready to go out and do your marketing. Why? Just go out and do the marketing. Go meet people who want to hear your message. Do it as quickly as possible and go be effective. Here's what most people do. Most of you on this call today already do what I call average agent marketing. Average agent marketing is based on an interruption model. They don't know you, they don't like you, it is random. It generates about 6 listings per year, and that's the NAR average. You use marketing pieces that are approximately 3% max result. Those include mailers, door knocking, cold calls, publications, things of that nature. Anything that requires you basically to throw a dart blindly into outer space to get a response is interruption-based marketing. You're just hoping to throw your message out to as many people that are out there, keeping the return on investment as effective, down as much as possible, and trying to get the highest possible result. It's not very cost effective, if you want my opinion, because most people can't afford to do mass marketing when they're on a budget. And to me, it's labor intensive. You got to spend time looking at ads, crimping and propping, taking a lot of calls, answering a lot of questions. And then the one thing that I find even more amazing, everybody uses basically the same script. So there are two things that seem to be taught. They were taught last quarter dramatically at a lot of training events. They were brought up, I saw it on Facebook, by some of the bigger coaches and gurus. That is, go knock on 100 doors and make 100 calls every day and you will get listings. Well, if you guys are knocking randomly on 100 doors, the most effective time to knock on doors is between 5 and 7 o'clock when people are home. During the day, it's just simply not going to happen. The same is true of calling people. During the day is not an effective time to call. So you're either calling in the morning or you're calling between 5 and 7. To get 100 calls per day in a 2-hour time span is ridiculous. And people aren't going to return your message, so what? You're going to leave spam messages on their phone? I mean, it's just a ridiculous format, especially when you're following a script. Hi, I'm the #1 agent in your local area. I am the #1 farm agent. I'm the #1 this, who works in the #1 office, who can help you with the #1 marketing plan. I can get you the #1 CMA. And if you want to buy, I'm also the #1 buyer's agent within this area who helps people find new houses. It's ridiculous. What I do know is this, that the top agents, the top 20%, work on referrals. It's permission-based marketing. That can generate 1 new listing per week. They use marketing pieces that have a higher result. It's extremely cost-effective. It's very low labor. They use the education approach, which I call the advocate approach, instead of actually scripting. Here's how most of you are doing marketing right now. You get what's called a lead. You do some form of marketing that will generate a face-to-face result, and that will equal your new listing. Or at least this is what you think you're doing. Well, first of all, an actual lead would only happen after you contact the homeowner. So all of you who are purchasing data and you're being told it's a lead, unless you physically talk to them on the phone, it's not a lead. Most of you are using marketing pieces that generate about a 3% result rate. And then once you get in front of the homeowners, you're following a script of, I'm #1, hire me because I'm #1. And if I look at the numbers, 80% of the agents are doing this exact format, and it's equaling 6 to 10 listings per year. The reason you're on this call is you're looking for 1 more listing per year. This has got to be the wrong way to do it. I mean, if you're just doing the math. So we're going to talk about a permission approach. Everybody who's on this call today, I'm going to send you a package after the call. You will be able to use all this, and I'm going to send you a package so you can go out and do marketing. You will get a copy of this funnel as well as a copy of this PowerPoint. The first thing you want to do is find a data source, and we will go step by step. Number 2, you're going to select a marketing piece. You're going to look and see what the response is from your marketing pieces. We're going to break them down in a minute. You will then be face-to-face with the homeowner. You're going to follow up because it's then a lead, and the only way to really get a listing is to follow up with your leads, and that's what equals a listing. So let's look at marketing side by side and what you're going to learn today. The goal of this training, the goal of my live events, the goal of everything I teach is if I do 20 marketing pieces, what are my results? That's the most cost-effective and time-effective there is. Now, mail by far is the most time-effective. It is not the most cost-effective, in my opinion, because you have to send thousands of pieces multiple times. Sending 20 pieces is no different than sending it out and being lost forever. The 3 we're going to talk about with this comparison is mail to the 2-drop. I'm going to teach you 2 drops today on this webinar, and I'm going to show you how the monster works. So let's start with an open rate. If I send out 20 mailers, the best I can hope for is 20%, right? So out of 20 mailers, the best I'm going to hope for is that 4 people are going to look at my message inside my envelope. If I do a drop, I can go for a much bigger quantity of data. I can have a larger package. It doesn't cost me more to mail. It saves me money by not mailing it. It only takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to go put out the physical pieces, right? I'm going to show you the two methods that have an extremely high open rate, because that's where you want to start. The most set of eyes, the better. With the drops, you're going to have 14 people open and look at your method. Now with the monster, it's 100%. So if I put 20 up and they live in that property, 20 people are going to look at my message. Let's go to response rate, where it actually forces them to go look at the phone. So if I have 4 people open my mail, 1% is actually going to pick up the phone and call me. If you want to do the math on that, knock yourself out, okay? But it doesn't equal a whole person. Now, if I've had a 70% open rate on my drops, that's 14 people, and 5% are going to go look at it, doesn't that mean that I'm going to get about a person to call me? Just makes sense mathematically. With the monster, I'm going to get a 20% response rate. So I have 100% open it, and I'm going to have a 20% physically respond to me. That's 4 out of 20 that will actually respond. Now, what's that going to convert? Because remember, all they did was call. So now they've called, and you don't even equal a whole person. I'm going to be polite. Let's say you got 1 phone call out of your mailer. Are you going to turn that 1 phone call into a face-to-face on a mailer? Statistically, no. On your drops, you're going to have about 1, 1.5 if it's really good material. You should get about a half to 1 appointment out of doing the mail system I give you. With the monster, it's no comparison. It is a straight 20% call through. So for those that respond 20%, you will actually get 4 appointments as well to meet with the homeowner face-to-face. So here's my first question for everybody in 2014. How many people do you have to be face-to-face with in 2014 before you get a listing? It was funny, we did a live event yesterday in Los Angeles. One of my coaching students was up front, and she quietly flashed up 4 fingers. I said, you got a 25% conversion ratio. That's smoking. That means for every 2 hours of putting up marketing pieces, she's getting 1 listing. That's amazing. Those are the results you can be happy with. But for everybody, it's different, and your comfort level is different. So let's go through direct marketing based on a data funnel, which is a correct funnel. All right? Everybody who's following along, the first thing you want to do and write this down is data. You want to use any form of public data because it's explainable when you go to the door. What are those? If you're going to do short sales, it's NODs, NOTSs, auction, defaulted properties, 30, 60, 90 lates. As I talked about yesterday, I'm a big fan of expireds. Expireds work. Canceled's also work. Divorce, probate, even data off of your MLS. Any of those are effective as long as you have their name, their address, and the reason they're on a list so that I can explain it at the front door. So everybody take this opportunity to pick one off the list. If you want my advice, work short sales. National Closing Center will do all the short sale work. So all you need to do is, my advice, 30, 60, 90, and notice of default are the trend that I'm teaching my own coaching group right now. So take it for what it's worth. Next, I'm going to give you a selection of 3 marketing pieces that you can work with. There are 3 that are permission-based. 1 is a folder, 2 is an envelope, or straightforward. The envelope is a basic manila envelope, and the second is an 8.5 by 11 envelope. You could use a FedEx envelope. You can use purchased padded envelopes. Any of those are fine. They all have the same principle, but their greatest open rate is only around 70%, and I'll tell you exactly why. Homeowners that are in a defaulted situation, as well as people who are in an expired situation, are afraid of what's inside. In the short sale situation, they are afraid of getting information from the bank that will be detrimental towards their living environment, right? They're afraid of the bank telling them that they're going to foreclose. In an expired situation, they're already starting to get beat over the head by other real estate agents. Trust me, the minute somebody goes expired, 100 agents in that local market are going to start to spam them to death with mailers, drops, door hangers, door knockings, you name it. Now, the monster's unique. It's not going to matter that the property is expired. It's not going to matter that the property is a short sale. You don't even meet with the homeowner. Don't worry about where you put it. With the file folder and with the envelope, you put those at the front door or in their foot traffic so that they see it. With the monster, you place it about midway up on the garage door. It is placed on the property. It's actually you print the marketing piece onto Avery labels. You don't meet with the homeowners. I did this on Monday. I wish I had videotaped this. Diana was with me, and if you want to call her at 213-706-0040 and ask her the story, the homeowner was sitting in their car on the phone. When he looked the other way, I walked between the cars up the center of the driveway. I put my marketing piece directly on his garage while he was looking the other way, and then walked back down the driveway. I had no interest in meeting with the homeowner face-to-face. He doesn't know me. I would rather he look at my marketing piece than make the phone call into my call center that's all set up to script him and set him up for a listing, for me to have a face-to-face appointment with him. That's what you want to do. Don't ever interrupt somebody in their day. He's on a call. If I had knocked on the window and said, hey, here's this, he's not going to look at the message. He's going to set it on his other seat, or he's going to throw it away. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't care that he's got an NOD or a 30, 60, 90 late, as was that case with that particular situation. Let them do it on their own terms. Send them into the funnel. So go ahead and select any one of those 3 marketing pieces that you want to work with. All right, let's move forward. Now that I've had my monster marketing piece, now that I've given him my marketing piece, the next thing I want is a response. What you're looking at on the screen, I'm going to send you every one of these links. Here's what I know. If you use the file folder or you use an envelope, inside there you are, and trust me, I'm going to give you everything you need to put into the folder and that you need to put into an envelope. You can use one of those 2 methods. Doesn't matter which. I'm going to give you the stuff to put inside those envelopes. They're going to look at it. They're going to look at your welcome letter. And it's going to reference that you're an advocate, that you help people, that you're not interested in selling, and then they're going to go online and try to research you. What I've discovered is people are woefully behind on marketing themselves correctly. Most websites I see are generic and bland and don't do much for you. They have a very limited source. What you're looking at is my opinion of everywhere you should be posting your business. I will send you links for every single one of these. But the one thing that I did do, and that you will get from being on the call today, I'm going to give you access to being a member of my CDAT Homeowner Advocacy Group so that you can tag all of your marketing materials. We've created 2 evergreen websites. The first one is defaultadvocate.org. It is a website that is generic with testimonials that talks about how you help people doing short sales and how you've converted people off of loan mods and into short sale listings and help them buy new properties. The one we just launched on Sunday was my new one, expiredadvocate.org. Expiredadvocate.org is a website run by CDAT as well. It is a website that talks about how you generically have helped people who have expired and given them great direction and help at no cost. Because I do know one thing for a fact. You don't want to sell people at the door. You want to advocate people, turn them into a solid lead, and then follow up. When you get face-to-face with a homeowner, it is very simple. You might want to write these down as bullet points. These are the ones that are the most effective. Let me check time. Okay, we're doing very well. Stop the scripting. Number 2, you want to bring up the fact that you did this for them. You went through all the trouble to assist them and help the homeowner. The second thing you want to, the next thing you want to bring up is that you're not doing this on any money at all, but you must disclose that you're a real estate professional working as an advocate. You're required that in almost every single state. Now, don't get me wrong. You can be an advocate, and you can be a real estate agent. You can be an advocate, and you can be an investor. Just disclose it. Tell them, I'm not here. I'm just here to help you. I don't care if you hire me. That's a whole different set of paperwork. I'm just here to give you good advice and give you good information. When it comes to short sale, the only information they want to know about is options on staying in their house and loan mods. And there's a very simple way to get to that and to show them that that's the silliest direction that they can go. Always point out you're not there for a listing, that you are there to educate them. You cannot reinforce it enough when you meet with people at the door. Okay, now, you understand that and it says fill in the data, short sales expired, and that you work with these files. There are 3 points that come up at the door consistently, and the reason we use public data is for point number 1. Even if you have an appointment with the monster, even if you have an appointment because they use the expired, or you use the file folder or the file folder or the envelope system, they're going to forget that they invited you over to their house. They're going to forget that you set an appointment with them. So, when you show up at the door, the first thing you want to say, the first thing they're going to ask is, why are you here? So you're going to tell them, you have a notice of default. You set an appointment with me. I'm the one who dropped off the information. I'm the one who set up the monster. I set this whole thing up so that I can meet with you for a delivery, to bring you information and to help you. I'm an advocate. I have to disclose that I'm a real estate agent because I'm required to do that by law. But I live in this area. This is my area. I help homeowners like you that are in distress. You recently had a notice of default posted. You recently had a notice of trustee sale posted. You recently had a less pendants posted. You recently had a late posted. And I'm sure that you're working on a loan mod with the bank. I'm just here to give you a second set of eyes on the situation. I'm not here to try to talk you out of it. I'm not here for anything other than being an advocate to help you. Expireds are the same way. I know you recently had an expired listing. I know that you are being inundated by a lot of real estate agents. I'm just here to give you advice and give you a second set of eyes on it. In fact, I don't even want the listing. I just want to help you find the best person to help you in your current situation. Trust me, when you take money off the table and you insist on helping people, you will get the listing. And if you're honest with yourself and you look at the deals you've gotten, it's when you were giving and selfless of yourself. The third thing, which is the hardest, and it always comes up at the door, you must disconnect them from the emotion of the house. The number one reason for expireds is because they overvalued it. They believe that there is value in the ocean view that doesn't exist, or the mountain view that doesn't exist, or that their kids grew up there. All of these things come into play when homeowners price out their house incorrectly. They are emotionally pricing it, and they're not objectively pricing it based on the market and or the market trends. Same thing on a short sale. I need to stay in this house. Honestly, most of these people haven't paid, or even when you talk in a late situation, it's repeated late payments. They're screwing up their credits. Instead of settling their debt, getting into a rental, cleaning up their credit, and buying again within a year. Come on. FHA is doing it within a year. Conventional is after 2 years of doing the short sale. These are still on the table. This is pretty straightforward stuff. The one thing you really want to remember is that you have 90 seconds to connect with the homeowner. You've got to do all of this as quick as you can. And after that 91st second clicks, ask them, what do you want to do? What would you really like to do? When it's a homeowner in default, when we talk about short sales, they're going to tell you they want to stay in their house. Okay, are you again, every person you talk to is an opportunity. And if you're the center point of that opportunity, it might not be a listing for you today. It might be a listing for you tomorrow. It might be a referral to an attorney. It might be a referral to a CPA. But the more you help somebody, it's sphere of influence. When you start to follow up with them, no matter what they decide to do, they will either bring you deals or they will be a deal themselves. But I do know this. You're going to have to touch them 5 to 10 times before they actually convert into a listing. You can use Slide Dial or MailChimp to do it for free, and you can do what I call covert follow-up. Nobody wants to talk to you directly, and nobody wants to hear a sales pitch every single day, and nobody wants to hear how much you care every single day. With Slide Dial, which is an app you can put on every smartphone, you can go straight to voicemail and leave them a message. The same is true with MailChimp. It is a free email process that you can set up an email campaign that loops itself, that keeps repeating the same message being sent out every 48 hours until they opt out. As simple as that. Keep sending your message out until they opt out, tell you to go away, or they list the property, or they refer people to you. Gather testimonials from those you have worked with. Add them to your email follow-ups. You can also create online communities through AnyMeeting, free conference call, or Ustream, where they can all talk to each other, because more people together sharing their misery, either on an expired level or on short sale level, the better it is for you. You can also create Facebook communities that are beneficial, that will generate leads as well. What it looks like is this exactly on the screen. This is generally, if you come and see me live, we spend a lot of time talking on this and building out everybody's personal funnel. This is the most effective funnel that I have seen for direct marketing with web marketing and even agent referrals built into it. This is the funnel when I am paid $5,000 a day to go into an office and change out a staff. This is the funnel I put into place. I find someone to do every part of this job. Everybody's accountable, and this is the highest producer of leads to listing there is. Okay? So I will send you a copy of this, and we will go through it. All right? To get a listing, it's very simple. You pull a data source. You stick to that data source. You can vary it. Does not matter. As long as it's public, stick to it. If you're going to use a folder or an envelope, that's fine. Just know that you're going to have to do more work to increase your results, right? So for every one face-to-face you might get from the folder or envelope system, you're going to get a minimum, and it's the average on the monster, 4 out of the monster for the same amount of work. They are going to call you. You want to do something that's called a squeeze. It is something that is built into the monster. That is, you want to tell them, you want to set up an appointment, you want to explain to them what this is all about, then you want to gather their email and their cell phone number. You will then follow up with them before you go to their house. I don't care even with the monster if you have a set appointment. Keep it simple. I'm a Kiss It fan. Keep it simple, stupid. Call them if you make sure that they are there for their 5:30, 6:30, 7:30 appointment. Then go to their house. And much like Thanksgiving or Christmas, take something with you. If it's more of the same message to reinforce what you gave them in the envelope or the folder, great. If you're doing it with the monster, I give you the package complete. Spend your 90 seconds of connection and focus on the bullet points I gave you. When you leave that house, and I want to make this clear, don't sell them at the house. Don't ever bring up anything sales-wise at their house. Then you want to follow up within 24 hours of that visit. Email or Slide Dial. And then you want to repeat that process of going to their home or having them come to your office for more information until they convert out to be a new listing. Now, people ask me, when can I sell them? When can I push them into a listing? My rule of thumb is this. When you are at somebody's home, you are always an advocate. I think not any of you on this call would agree. You don't want somebody coming over to your house and selling you anything. Well, why would you go to somebody's house, knock on a door, and start selling immediately? You don't want it done at your own house. You throw away junk mail. You'd hang up on a cold caller. So let the homeowner decide that they want to talk to you. Then educate them. Keep it as simple as possible for them. Reinforce that message over and over again. When you're at their home, just educate them. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Now, when they come to your office, let's say that they want to call the bank in regards to the short sale or their loan mod. Great, come to my office. The minute they call the bank and they find out they don't have the loan mod, which, by the way, if they have an NOD or they have a notice of sale or they have a less pendants or they have an auction date, they don't have a loan mod. Simple as that. They don't have it. The bank will say that. Your credibility has been raised up. That is the action you are after, by the way, when doing a short sale and converting them from a loan mod. You want them to just call the bank. Go, great. You have a loan mod. You're working with the bank. Fantastic. Call them right now because you have a notice of default. You have a notice of trustee sale. You have late payments, et cetera, et cetera. have them call the bank. And the bank will tell them they don't have a loan mod, period. They will tell them that they're trying to collect on a debt, which is all they're trying to do. Repeat the process until it generates a new listing. So what it looks like on paper, learning the drop system step by step. Number one, grab your data. Number two, grab a marketing piece. Stick to something with the highest result. Step three, know that you're going to get a response. Maximize that response by squeezing information. You should know this. Almost everybody you call is going to pull your cell phone number off. They're going to ask you to repeat the phone number back in case you get disconnected. Just take a smart dialing tip from me. Get their cell phone and their email. It's what the monster does so that I can easily follow up with them. Set an appointment. Stick to the 90 seconds of credibility rule. And at the 91st second, let them talk. Step 5, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. You can't follow up enough. 5 to 10 times is the average for somebody to make up their mind about anything. And the truth be told, for all of you that are on this call, following up is what will generate listings. It's where the bulk of your listings come from. Nobody converts at the door. No matter what you've been told at your office, no matter what trainer has been in front of you. Okay? I know that people stick to this, that you can read a script and convert at the door. That is 100% BS. Feel free to come to one of my live events when I do that survey in the room. There is nobody who's ever done it, and that's even the hardcore knockers who do 100 houses a day. 100 houses a day is only going to generate one face-to-face conversation over 90 seconds. And that's not even a guarantee that they're going to be a listing. That just turns them into a lead. And that's what will generate new listings for the office. That's what will generate new deals for you as an investor. So I'll talk about the monster briefly, and then I'll take questions if I'm directly on time. I am. So the monster online is $2,000, or $19.97 if that makes you feel better. You can go to thelistingmonster.com and look at everything that it does. It is basically a multi-use delivery platform guaranteed to get you face-to-face time with homeowners. It works with any data source. The squeeze, it's got a simple delivery system. In fact, you don't meet with homeowners at all. You walk. You put up the monster, you walk away. It has what we call a squeeze of data. So they call into a call center. The call center will get their cell phone and email, one or the other, maybe both. It all depends on the homeowner and what they're willing to give up. It is a permission base. They will set an appointment. We will give you the presentation and the conversion of what to take to the door. Each monster costs pennies on the dollar. They actually go on Avery labels. We will tell you the Avery labels to buy and the cheapest source to buy them from if you order them online. It doesn't cost much at all, right? It takes approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours to get up about 20 labels. We recommend to everybody to go put up 20 on Monday and 20 on Tuesday. That means you're meeting with 8 homeowners that week and following up with 8 homeowners that week. And then the discussion becomes, how many people do you need to be in front of before you get a listing? Well, as I told you, one of my students did the 25%. For every 4, she gets 1 listing. So if she did 2 hours worth of work, 4 hours worth of work in marketing, she's getting 2 listings per week. You never have to make contact with the homeowner until they actually invite you to their property. For those of you that have stage fright, this is the best way to go, and it really takes the heat off of the situation. The piece is legitimately permission-based. They are inviting you to their house for an appointment. And we always tell everybody, if you invest 2 hours of work, 2 hours of your time, and you don't get face-to-face, we're going to give you your money back 100%. With any data source. So for short sales, it's NODs, less pendants, auction, sale date, or ask Vlad when you sign up for RealtyProx, and he will send you data that you can use on the monster. Or you can go after non-short sale listings that 80% of the agents are working. That's expired, canceled, divorce, probate. The list goes on and on. It's really kind of up to your imagination, as long as it's a public data source. You'll put the monsters up on their garage door about midway up so that they can see it when they come home. They will go in and it will generate a phone call. It will also generate an appointment that you will follow up with, and it should get you the email or the cell phone number. It is legitimately permission-based. The homeowner is going to be expecting you. They are not negative towards you, and our studies, we've been using it now for 3 years, will generate 5 times longer at the door consistently. An average appointment done correctly is about an hour at the door if you do it right, if you really come off like an advocate. The homeowner responds, we don't have any negative feedback or blowback, no doors slamming in faces. You might get occasionally people who are just looking for their package, what you bring to the door, and tell you to leave it and walk away. But by and large, it's a very positive response at the door for our marketing piece. We stick with the same things that I taught you on today's webinar. Don't sell at the door. Use your 90 seconds to build credibility as an advocate. Make sure that you have value in your service and what you bring to the door, and you have something tangible to bring to the door. We give you all of that, and we say the same thing. Follow up. Don't expect to convert at the door. In fact, one of the only returns that I've had in recent months, there have been two. One of them was based on not being able to convert at the door. I, of course, refunded them because their email was one of the best testimonials that I've ever gotten. They got a 50% result rate on their marketing. But apparently they've never seen me present or talk about the monster where I said that you're not going to get the listing at the door. You got to follow up with them. They expected to go to the door because that's their indoctrination and the beatdown that they get from their office. I should be able to convert at the door. You're never going to convert at the door. Nobody converts at the door. It rarely happens. It's one of the surveys I do at every single live event to try to find somebody who can convert it at the door. If you sign up today to get the monster, you will get a walkthrough so we can get you started ASAP. You will talk to Diana, who does real estate. Diana Ortiz is a licensed real estate professional. She has used the monster. She has worked with investors. She's worked with real estate agents. She primarily focuses on short sales. You will talk to her. She will get you started. She will get you ready and up and going. Every Wednesday at 10 a.m. you will be on a coaching call with me for life. No monthly fee on that. And I'll tell you why. I don't believe in monthly fees. I think monthly fees are to keep people inside of something so that you're paying monthly fees. So think about this for all of you that are already involved in a monthly fee. What new information do you get every single month in those marketing classes or monthly marketing trainings that's innovative and different? I think that the true mark of a marketing piece or somebody who educates on marketing is one-time fee. Guarantee some kind of result, offer my money back if it doesn't work. That's fine. I don't have any issue with any of those things. That's the way my goal is to get you face-to-face. That is the result I guarantee. Simple as that. Not only that, we'll give you exclusive documents and packages and live training and more, discounts to all my bigger events, if not free, live streaming for my training students, all my short sale stuff, the calculator, and all the stuff I brought when I worked out of the bank. All of that's included with the monster. It's basically everything that I've ever worked on. That's included as well. You can call Diana right now at 213-706-0040. The offer that I make on the webinar is the exact same one that I make at my live events. There are 3 payment options. So if you want to write this down right below the phone number. So what I want you to do is write down the name Diana Ortiz, then write down the number 213-706-0040. Write the word monster. I have 3 payment options for that $19.97 for you. You can make one payment and I will take 50% off. Simple as that. It's $9.97. That's 50% off. It's actually $1,000 off if you want to get technical. We have a 2-payment plan. Okay? That knocks it down to $548. I want to make sure these numbers are right because I've just changed out and made these payments available. You can also go to honish.com/Honish. In fact, I'll show you on my screen. Go to my website, Honish.com. Right? You will not see it's a super clean website with lots of information, free marketing, etc. But on the right-hand side, you'll see more info on the monster. You can click on it, or even buy the monster should work. I did it right. Buy now on the monster page. Okay. One payment is $9.97. You can go right now and do all that. Click on Honish.com and click on the monster anywhere or buy the monster. It'll take you to this same page. Honish.com. Or you can call 213-706-0040. One payment is $9.97, and that will take you to a PayPal link. Okay, you just click on it. It'll open up a PayPal window. The reason I use PayPal, if you're not happy with my services and it doesn't provide you what you want, you click a button on PayPal. It protects you. I have a 3-payment plan, again, set up through PayPal. So if you're unhappy, you can get out. 3 payments at $3.99. The total will be $11.97. Of course, there's got to be a break for those that pay up front. And 2 payments at $5.48. I've got to blow that up. It will open up a PayPal link, and it will set you up for that checkout. Simple as that, every 30 days once you initiate it. I'm very happy to do those things. You can go to Honish.com, click on the monster, click on buy the monster. They're all over. There are plenty of videos that will tell you more about the monster, or you can call 213-706-0040. Also, if you go to Honish.com, you can click on events and come see me live all over the country. That should do it. Vlad, do we have any questions? If I haven't lost Vlad.
No, you haven't. I just muted myself because all of a sudden my printer from the 30s decided to go off out of nowhere and was really loud in here, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Ah, I got it.
So I'm here. We do have a few questions, but for the rest of you, there's quite a few of you on the call yet. So take your chances, take your time, and ask those questions. I'm sure you have them while Lee is on this webinar, and you get a chance to ask this question. So let me start with the ones we have so far. Where are the questions? Here you go. Question number 1. Where do you find a 30, 60, 90 list? I am told they're not public.
They are available. Equifax has them. I work with a group out of Oceanside. So if you want 30, 60, 90s, again, it's an explainable data source. It's because you have a late payment. As long as I have a reason to be at the front door, it is kind of public data if you buy it. I mean, it's not, the mortgage companies get it, that's how they get it. Equifax has it. There are also a few providers of the same data leads as well. You cannot get 30 specific, you cannot get 60 specific, you cannot get 90 specific. You can get 30, 60, 90. That's all that's available. It's one big group. They're usually about $1 a lead. Mailinglist.org is the company that I used. Let Ziggy know that I sent you, mailinglist.org, or you can try Equifax.
All right. Will we get all the slides of this presentation? I think the answer was yes. All right. Wow, it seems these are all the questions we have. I guess you guys were...
Simple day.
Yeah. I know. And you're still on the call, so we're going to give another 30 seconds. If there's no more questions, make sure you call Diana or email Lee. You check out RealtyProx.com. I already saw quite a few of you registered, so thanks for that. For those of you who haven't, take 30 minutes off your busy schedule, 30 seconds, for God's sake, 30 seconds off your busy schedule and register. That's how long it takes to register on RealtyProx.com, create your free account. And I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back at it in 2014. And I look forward to many more webinars with Lee Honish. And yes, there are no more questions, so I guess we can wrap it up. And I'm sure the conversation will continue offline, and since there were quite a few of you guys today, you will follow up with Diana and Lee and myself.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. Have a good day, everybody.